Okay, so let's move on. So please make sure that you don't proceed unless your coaching document, you've accessed it, you've written in there about what is your why, um, you've done your health goals, and you've got your 12-week vision sorted. So please make sure that's sorted before you proceed. If that's all done, let's then dive into our first circle. So our first circle is fuel. And when we talk about fuel, I want to make it really, really clear that this is not about going on a diet. A diet would suggest something that is a lot more restrictive and a lot more prescribed. Instead, I want us to think about how we're going to make some really sustainable changes to the way that we're fueling our bodies, and changes that we can turn into sort of long-term habits, and that will support our overall health, and support our goals moving forward as well. So really, there's some key principles that I want to talk through in terms of fueling your body. Now, the first one is that I want you to be calorie aware. Now, there's a few reasons that I want you to be calorie aware and not calorie obsessed. Now, the goal here is for you to become aware of how much you're consuming within a week, within a day, and within a single meal as well. And you also want to be able to work out and understand how that looks in comparison to how much fuel you're burning as well. So I want you to be able to grasp what a plate of food looks like in terms of its calorific value, how much protein's in it, how much carbohydrates is in it, etc., and what that looks like in comparison to the calories that you're burning as well. So that's what I mean by calorie aware. The other thing, the other principle is that we want our diet to be high in protein. Now, there's several reasons for this. So the first reason is that our body will burn about a third of the calorific value of protein in its digestion. Protein is really difficult to digest. So as the body's digesting protein, we will burn off 1/3 of the calorific value of that food in digestion. So that's obviously fantastic for weight loss. The other great thing about protein is that it keeps you fuller for longer. So protein will make you feel fuller after a meal. So a meal that's high in protein will make you feel fuller for longer to stop us snacking between meals. And the last thing is that it helps us to recover and to repair during workout. So it's fantastic at nourishing our muscles so that they can repair and recover between the workouts that we're doing. Now, the next principle is that we want to ensure that our diet is nutritionally dense. Now, the best way of achieving this is by making sure that we have a diverse diet. And really, the most simple form, or the simple way of doing this is making sure that every plate that you eat is colourful. This would mean that it's high in fibre, that it's packed full of rich, sort of nutrient-rich foods. So if we just look at our plate and you think, right, has it got lots of different colours to it? Generally speaking, it's going to be fairly diverse, and as a result of that, it will be nutritionally dense. Obviously, by having this variety in our food, we're going to have loads of vitamins and minerals going into our body, which is what our body needs to flourish. So we want to try and prioritize foods that are as close to nature as nature intended. So we want to limit the amount of foods that we're eating that are being processed, and especially ultra processed. So if you look at your plate of food, is it colourful? And is all the food on that plate how nature intended? Now, the next one that we want to look at is we want to eat the best quality food that we can afford as well. Now, everyone's got a completely different budget. Some people can afford organic food, some people can't. But all I would say is that, can you eat the best quality food that you can afford? Can you, if you're having one steak a week, can that steak be from your local butchers? All right. I would love to eat organic food every single day, but I personally can't afford that. Okay. But what I can do is make sure that, once or twice a week, we're treating ourselves to some really high quality meat and some really high quality fruit and veg as well. So it really is dependent on your own circumstances. Now, the last one, and arguably the most important, is that we enjoy it. I don't want at any point for you to look at a plate of food and eat it just for consumption. So try and make the food that you enjoy. And as we progress through the program, I'll be encouraging you to make your own plates of food. And learning skills like, right, tonight I need 20 grams of protein, I need 30 grams of carbohydrate. What can I do? What sort of plate can I put together? So please make sure that you're trying to enjoy it. Don't just eat for the sake of it, because that's not a sustainable habit. All right, so we're really trying to enjoy the food that we're doing, as well as